If we are born in captivity, what does it reveal about American history? If I look at American history against the background where foundational Black Americans are born in captivity, what does it reveal for me? If you re-examine American history through the lens that Black people and their lineage have been born in captivity, it radically alters the historical narrative and exposes truths that are often sanitized, downplayed, or reframed. Here's what this perspective reveals. The U.S. Constitution was built on a contradiction. All men are created equal while simultaneously enshrining Black captivity through slavery. The 1662 Hereditary Slavery Law, 1669 Casual Killing Act, 1641 Body of Liberties Law, 1705 Slave Codes, the Three-Fifths Compromise, and the Fugitive Slave Clause. Even after slavery, the 13th Amendment ensured captivity continued through incarceration, except as punishment for crime. The revelation here is that the legal foundation of America was built to permanently control and exploit Black bodies, rather than integrate them as free and equal citizens. If this narrative is true, then the Emancipation Proclamation of 1863 did not free enslaved people. It strategically shifted the labor system while keeping Black people economically, politically, and socially captive. Reconstruction, from 1865 to 1877, was a brief moment of potential freedom, but America swiftly reimposed captivity through Black codes and Jim Crow, legalized segregation and labor exploitation. Convict leasing re-enslaved Black men through criminalization. Sharecropping kept Black families economically tied to white landowners. The revelation is that the Civil War didn't end captivity, it evolved into more insidious forms. Black people fled the South in the Great Migration, from 1910 to 1970. Not because they sought better opportunities, but because they were fleeing a neo-slavery system, lynchings, debt peonage, and legal oppression. Northern cities welcomed laborers but kept them in containment zones through redlining, segregation, and housing discrimination. The revelation here is that the North was never a land of freedom. It was another form of captivity with different mechanisms of control. If this narrative holds true, the civil rights was not about gaining rights, it was a revolt against captivity. Brown versus Board. In 1954, the Civil Rights Act in 1964, and the Voting Rights Act in 1965 were not just about equality, but about dismantling captivity structures. The system fought back hard with COINTELPRO, the FBI's surveillance of Black leaders, the war on drugs, which became a new mechanism for mass incarceration, and the assassination of key leaders who fought for true liberation, like Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, and Fred Hampton. The revelation here is profound. Civil rights leaders weren't just fighting for justice, they were attempting to end captivity, and that's why the US government saw them as existential threats. Mass incarceration is the modern plantation. The war on drugs, the 1994 crime bill, mandatory minimums, and private prisons created a new captivity system. Today, Black men are disproportionately imprisoned, and the US has the highest incarceration rate globally. Prisons use unpaid or underpaid labor, just like slavery. Police killings operate as a modern-day slave patrol, targeting Black bodies without accountability. The revelation is clear. The prison industrial complex isn't about crime, it's about preserving captivity in a different form. Black wealth is controlled through captivity systems. Redlining, housing discrimination, predatory loans, and economic exclusion have systematically kept Black families from accumulating generational wealth. Every time Black communities built independent wealth, the system destroyed them. Like the Colfax Massacre in 1873, the Wilmington Insurrection in 1898, the Tulsa Massacre in 1921, and the Rosewood Massacre in 1923. Urban renewal, often referred to as Negro removal, and predatory lending practices during the 2008 housing crisis. The revelation here is that America has actively prevented Black people from escaping economic captivity. Captivity isn't just physical, it's mental. Media portrayal of Black inferiority reinforces stereotypes to justify oppression. Education erases Black history, keeping people from knowing they've been born in captivity. Black exceptionalism is used as propaganda. A few success stories discredit the larger reality of systemic oppression. If you don't realize you're in captivity, you won't fight for true freedom. If black people have been born in captivity, then reparations are not just compensation. They are the mechanism to end captivity permanently. This isn't just about money. It's about restoring stolen wealth, dismantling mass incarceration, and economic containment. It forces America to acknowledge the reality of black captivity instead of gaslighting with equal opportunity myths. Without reparations, America continues to operate a captive state system, where black survival is controlled, limited, and constrained. What changes if you accept this reality? It means you no longer accept America's myths at face value. You begin to see every system, economic, educational, entertainment, labor, legal, political, sexual, religious, and war, as part of a captivity structure. You realize that freedom isn't about integration or representation, it's about dismantling the entire framework of captivity. This reframing isn't just about history. It's about recognizing that the struggle today is the same as it has always been. The fight to break free from a system that never intended to let black people be truly free. If you heard anything interesting to you, please leave a comment. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for joining us until reparations comes.